Good afternoon and welcome. On behalf of Dorsey & Whitney and KPMG, I'd like to welcome you to our Dodd-Frank conflict minerals discussion today. We also have a number of people joining us on the telephone today, so we'd like to welcome them as well. We have a great panel for you today, long on knowledge, lots of opinions. I'm not sure we have it all figured out yet because people are trying to figure out how do you implement the 300 pages of regulation that the SEC put out in August of this past year. But we'll work through to try and answer as many questions as we can. And with that, we would ask you, if you have questions, to please feel free to ask them during the discussion as it comes up. Don't need to hold them to the end. The panel is very willing and ready to take those questions. So if you do have a question, I would just ask, kind of throw your hand up quickly, shout it out. I'll repeat it just so we can make sure the people on the phone can hear it, and then we'll move forward. So today, our agenda, we'll review the Dodd-Frank Conflict Minerals Act, Section 1502 of the Act. We'll go over what the industry response to conflict minerals has been to date and where we see it headed. And then some leading practices and practical considerations to share with the group. And also love to hear your thoughts on what you're doing as well. I am Tom Leyden. I'm the audit partner in the Minneapolis office. I run the audit practice for the business unit. It's my great pleasure, like I said earlier, to be your moderator. With that, we'll have our panel do self-introductions, and I think, Sasha, are you going to start for us?
Sure. My microphone's already on. Well, thank you, Tom. Thank you to KPMG, and thanks to Dorsey for hosting this. This is the first time my name tag has ever been spelled right on a panel, so they deserve a lot of credit. My name is Sasha Lezhnev. I work in Washington for a part of a non-governmental organization called the Enough Project. We do research in Africa and do advocacy here in the United States, mainly focused on genocide and crimes against humanity.
My name is Bala Lakshman. I'm a director in KPMG's supply chain due diligence practice. Been working on conflict minerals for a little over 2 years. In the last 18 months, led a number of engagements for KPMG, working with clients across the country in various industries.
And my name is Amy Schneider. I'm a partner in the corporate department at Dorsey & Whitney. I assist public companies in preparing their SEC disclosure documents and make sure that they're up to speed on the latest trends and best practices in the areas of corporate governance and executive compensation.
My name's Jim Lowe. I'm a financial services audit partner based here in Minneapolis. I also head up KPMG's Regulatory Center of Excellence, focusing on the Dodd-Frank Act. Title 15 miscellaneous provisions obviously includes conflict minerals. That's how I got involved.
You never met anybody who knows more about Dodd-Frank than Jim Lowe.
Not by choice.
Well, we've got 100 people here probably in the same boat, Jim. So again, overview of the Dodd-Frank Conflict Minerals Act. We thought we'd have Sasha give a little sense of why is this in front of us? What caused the law to start? So we put a couple pictures up here that can kind of help frame it.
Great. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, so these are 3 photos that I took on different trips to Eastern Congo. And just to give you a little bit of a background on why this law was passed and why so many people across the country are interested in it. So this law is basically about defunding war, similar to Blood Diamonds, which many of you have heard of or maybe seen the movie. The war in Eastern Congo has taken more lives than any war in the world since World War II. Over 5.4 million people have died over the last 18 years in Eastern Congo, and the militias, the 3 main armed groups that are perpetuating this war, are basically able to continue their fight because of minerals. So they essentially control mines and trading routes for 4 main minerals: gold and what we call the 3 T's, tin, tantalum, and tungsten. And they're able to essentially earn quite a bit of money by selling these minerals. They depopulate villages. They rape women and use child soldiers and child miners to continue their struggle. We've met many child miners and child soldiers, such as the one up on the slide here. Up to 40% of the miners out in Eastern Congo are children as young as 8 years old. The armed groups earn upwards of $200 million a year by trading in these minerals, and then essentially they buy weapons with the profits. And what many people have not realized up until the past couple of years is, in fact, this war is closely connected to us here in the United States because these minerals go into the products that we use every day. And so through a 6-step supply chain that we traced through after several months of research, they end up in our electronics, our jewelry, and our manufactured goods. And so many people that we talk to here in the United States, particularly on university campuses, we're active on 130 campuses, are very concerned that they don't want to be connected through their cell phones, through their laptops, through the earrings and necklaces that they wear to this conflict in Eastern Congo, and making sure that their products are not funding child soldiers, not funding rape, and not funding war in Congo. The good news is that we have seen some positive effects. So the lessons from the Blood Diamonds work shows that, in fact, company action partnered with government initiatives can actually help end these wars. And so in Sierra Leone, you had a concerted consumer campaign which helped contribute to sparking the end of the wars in Sierra Leone, in Angola, and Liberia. And with the action of the leading companies so far, the Apples and the Intels and the Microsofts, we've seen a 65% reduction in armed groups' profits from the 3T minerals already. So there's still a long way to go, and there's a lot of smuggling going on, but just to give you a little bit of a background on why this is important.
Yeah, thanks. So it helped me, I think, frame this a little stronger into why it's important. And so I thought it was good to give that background. Before we jump into the rest of the program, there is CLE and CPE credit available. Green sheet is in front. If you would take that, fill it out as we go here today so that you don't miss that opportunity. We want to make sure we capture that for you. We'd like to just kind of give a brief overview of the conflict minerals section. And Amy, maybe if I could ask you to kind of give us a top side summary.